What is up, AO Sports? Today we're going to talk about somebody that just got an extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. Which player was that? Chris Middleton? Jrue Holiday? Brook Lopez? Let's find out. Let's get into this video. This player first started with the Philadelphia 76ers. Then he went to the New Orleans Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans, they traded him to the Milwaukee Bucks. Who's that player? That player is Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday has signed a 4-year extension worth $160 million. Is he worth it? I believe so. I just really think that Jrue Holiday is underrated for his career, honestly, for his whole career. Because he's always been a good all-around player. He's just not that type of a player that makes that much noise because he's never been in an MVP conversation. Or, he's been to All-Stars, but he's never won any huge award. And he's been overlooked because of players such as Stephen Curry, because of players such as LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's never been the number one guy. So I think that's the reason why he's underrated. I think that's the reason why people don't really look at him. But is he worth the $160 million? I think he's worth every single penny. Because this is the type of player that is unselfish. I think he probably deserves maybe 185 million, instead of 160. But because of the type of player that he really is, he plays defense. He knows how to distribute the ball. He can score the ball. He could really stop any guard out there. So he has tremendous defense ability. He can shoot the ball. Like he could really do it a little bit of everything. He's always been a second option, and I think he's always been good in that place. You might say that's too much for a second option, which I understand. But Jrue Holiday is just a different type of caliber of a player. And is he the piece that I can say that Milwaukee's gonna win the championship with? No, I don't think he's that type of a player to make that huge of a jump. Because for that, I think that Milwaukee needs a player like another superstar. Because now if we could bring it back maybe 2 years, when LeBron was in Cleveland and all of that, there I could say, this is actually a championship team. But right now we're looking at teams like Philadelphia that have Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons when healthy, plus Tobias Harris, and all that. Then we're looking at other teams such as the Brooklyn Nets that have, the big three of James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. Not even a big three, it's a super team with Blake Griffin and Marcus Aldridge as well. Then the Lakers, I just think that, they have a good around team. They got Chris Middleton and they have Jrue Holiday. Plus, they also have Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Brook Lopez is a good complementary player, I guess, or a good role player. Because, he has his nights when Giannis is not there, injured, or just misses the game, whatever. Brook Lopez steps out and actually scores 23 points, 26, something like that. And Jrue Holiday proved, I believe it was last night, he proved, that he could actually be a number one option. I just think that he's better suited, or we've seen him more as a second option because that's what he's been his whole career mostly. In New Orleans, he was the second option to Anthony Davis. In Philadelphia, he was the second option to Andre Iguodala. And now he's the second option to Giannis Antetokounmpo. But I think he has the ability for sure to be a first option. It's just that if he is a first option, that team could be a playoff contention, but they wouldn't be championship contenders. If that makes sense, if you guys can understand what I'm saying. But I don't think it's a bad signing though. So don't even get me wrong. You know what I think was a bad signing, to be honest? The extension that they gave Chris Middleton. How in the world? Like, that was, to me, a bad signing in my eyes. Yeah, he could put up 20 and 9. Yes, he's an all-star. That's great. That's amazing. He could shoot the ball. Great. But he is good as he is now as a third option. And I don't think, you could pay like $30 million for a third option. They could have literally, instead of getting Chris Middleton, giving him that contract. They probably could have given that instead, because I think he would have even done more offensively. Listen, offensively, not defensively. With Zach LaVine, and probably they could have signed players such as, as I said, Zach LaVine, and they could have signed somebody else. They could have signed maybe Kemba, when he was in free agency, instead of giving Chris Middleton that big of a contract. It's okay, you could keep him, but just not for that amount. I think that was the only really bad signing or the bad move that the Bucks have made, and plus the move of taking so long to make big moves. Because now this is the era or the time and period where it's like, this is the NBA right now is in high contention, except when you look at the Brooklyn Nets, you're like, damn, it's all over. But they have shown signs that they could be beat, because teams have actually beaten them. So this is, I think, the biggest time and period where it's like we don't even know who's gonna win. Some people say, oh, Brooklyn Nets for sure, but it's like, as I said, they have been beaten, so they could be beat. And then there's teams like the Lakers that they're struggling with injuries. The Rockets are out, basically, long gone. The Warriors, we don't even know if they might make it to the playoffs this season. So, this is the era, this is the time and period that the NBA is actually, interesting, where it's not like, oh, that's the team for sure going to win. I'm not even going to watch it anymore. I'm going to turn off the television. It's not like that when it was back in Golden State, that dynasty of when Kevin Durant was there. Which literally, I would watch half of the game and I'd be like, all right, that's it. I'm gonna just turn it off. Like, I didn't even watch any of the finals as I did like when it's Golden State versus the Cavs before Kevin Durant, or like when it was Kevin Durant in OKC and going against Golden State. Those were games that I watched. I was like, okay, I don't even know who's gonna win right now. But in that time, it was just, and right now. In that time, I would say that, damn, like, the Golden State's going to win for sure. But now I don't really know. Like, even though, let me know in the comment section below, who do you guys think will win the championship this season? Let me know if it's the Lakers. Let me know if it's the Brooklyn Nets, if it's the 76ers, the Bucks. Let me know, Clippers. Like, let me know your opinion in the comment section below. And let's talk about it, me and you. Let's talk about it, in the comments. I will answer to you, and maybe we could debate or have a conversation about it. So go ahead and comment below and let me know, what team do you think. Just say it right away, Clippers, or say it right away, Lakers. Just comment below, and we can have a discussion about that. Otherwise, back to Jrue Holiday. He is a very, very good player. I think, as I said, he's worth, instead of 160, I think it would be fine to even pay him $185 million a year. I just don't think you could pass 185. But basically, I think that they kind of got to steal with that, in that sense, because he is a good all-around player, guys. This guy is honestly underrated, as I said before. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the signing, and also, about who thinks going to win the championship this season. And if this was a good sign, this was a bad signing, maybe too much, maybe too little. Let me know what you think about Jrue Holiday in general. Let me know what you think about Jrue Holiday signing this contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. Go ahead and comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, guys, love sports. Now let's watch this motivational video.
Everybody had written me off after those air balls.
My brain cannot process failure.
And I got home, it's probably like 3 a.m. And I went down to the high school. The janitor let me in the gym, and I shot all day. I mean, all day. Right after that playoff game, just kept shooting and practicing. I'm just gonna keep on going, no matter what. Fail 10 times, that 11th time is gonna be great. It's not the 11th time, the 12th time is gonna be great. But eventually, it's gonna happen. I got a chance to let out the steam of disappointing my teammates and millions of fans.
Once I've made that commitment and said I want to be one of the greatest ever,
then the game became everything for me.
So I created the Black Mamba.